This was a piece of work done by predominantly by a graduate student, Sarmi Sri, and Sarmi did this as part of her PhD thesis. And what she set out to do, supervised predominantly by Mariana Vargas Caballero, who's my colleague in Southampton, where I used to work, she set out to investigate how a mouse model of an aspect of Alzheimer's disease, a mouse that was modeled to produce excess levels of A-beta that would then lead in time to the deposition of amyloid in plaques around the brain. Take a slightly different approach from many other studies. So most of these transgenic animals, the transgene is expressed even in the blastocyst in the very earliest stages of development and all the way through development in some cases. So what we wanted to do was to escape from this early expression of the transgene and see whether we could investigate what would happen if the transgene expressing the APP leading to increased levels of A-beta, if it was switched on when the animal was already mature rather than during development as well. And so what Sarmi did was to look at these different stages of switching on the transgene, either in development or in adulthood, and showed that there were differences in the way that the A-beta levels impacted on the animals, the electrophysiology, the synaptic connections in these animals, and also on the animals' behavior. And an interesting component of this is that now that you have a tool where you can switch this transgene on and off, then you can ask the question, well, if the deficits that appear when you switch the transgene on, how long does it take for the deficits to appear? And what would happen when you switch the transgene off? Are these deficits reversible? And she's shown that at least after a short period of time of exposure to the APP transgene, that this is reversible, but there's a lot more to do to see how long that could go on before it became irreversible, if it does become irreversible. And that was the work of Sarmi, and she got her PhD on the basis of that work.